Hi there. Let's read this book, Sky Dogs, written by Jane Yolen. She's written a lot of good books, so you might want to look for some more of hers. Sky Dogs. My children, you ask how I came to be called he who loves horses. For now I sit in the teepee, and food is brought to me, and I do not ride the wind. Come close. There. Come close, and I will tell you. Once the land winded us, for we had to walk on our own legs from camp to camp, from sky to sky, with only small dogs to carry our rawhide bags and pull the travois sleds. The grass beneath our feet sang swee swash, and we wore out many moccasins along the paths of the plains. Then one day we saw strange beasts coming from west of the mountains, coming from Old Man's sleeping room. They were so far away, we first thought they were long shadows, but the sun was high, and still they came toward us, and that is not how a shadow acts. Then we saw they were big as elk, with tails of straw. 2 Katani clung to their backs, feet hanging down like men who have the sickness, and one beast pulled a heavily laden travois like a big dog. Then we were afraid. Jumps over the water, who was my best friend and is born in the same season, hid behind his mother's skirt, and Running Bear, the bravest of us then, born a season sooner, ran behind the nearest teepee. I stood apart and watched with big eyes, not because I was not afraid, but because I could not move, because I had been caught out beyond the safety of my father's teepee, beyond the safety of his arms. Often it was so with me since my mother died. The men of our tribe made the mutterings men make when they want to say, "We are not afraid. No, not us. We are mighty Piegan. We are warriors of the plains. We drove out the Katani and took their lands. We rule the wide grass from sky to sky." But they were afraid. Their eyes grew big, and 4 of them reached out for their hunting bows. That is because one may fear what comes from Old Man, yet not be afraid of any other thing. Then Long Arrow, our chief, held up his hands and laughed. "These are from the sky," he said. "These are from out of the hill. I have heard of them. They are called Sky Dogs, a gift from Old Man, like the buffalo, like the antelope, like the bighorn sheep." Long Arrow knew many things, many tales, for he had walked the world 7 times around, from the Porcupine Hills down to the mouth of the Yellowstone, all the world first made by Old Man. So the mutterings stopped, although 3 men kept their bows nearby. And when the newest baby cried out for his supper, I felt something inside me cry out too. And I was glad when his mother sang softly to him, for then I could listen to the words of his cradleboard song, and they comforted me. So we waited for the Sky Dogs to reach our camp. But we did not go out to greet them. We did not make a moccasin path to our teepees. We waited the way strong men wait, with the sacred herb nawakoisis ready for smoking and the meat of buffalo on the fire. But 3 warriors kept their faces toward the west, for to be strong does not mean you sleep, does not mean you turn away from danger. When they arrived at last, there were 3 Katani, not 2, a woman lying sick on the travois, and 2 men slung on the Sky Dogs' backs like rawhide carrying bags. We took them in, but they were too ill to share our feast, and the men died in Long Arrow's teepee before nightfall, before they could tell us all about the Sky Dogs, before they could sing the praises of Old Man who gave such a gift. We fed the beasts dried meat like any dogs. We rubbed their noses with good back fat, which made them sneeze. We threw sticks before their faces so they could run and bring the sticks back. But they were startled by the throwing sticks, and one Sky Dog ran away. We did not see it again. Long Arrow said it went to Old Man's house, that Old Man had called it home, though someone else said a coyote or wolf would catch it first, and the women laughed like running water behind their hands. but 2 of them remained, dogs as big as elk. They turned from us and put their faces into the prairie grass, eating loudly, so we would know how to feed them. Running Bear came out from behind the teepee, jumps over the water, left his mother's skirt. And I touched the back leg of the smallest sky dog, running my hand up as high as it would go. His skin was soft and warm, and he crunched the grass with sounds as loud as a careless man walking, snick-snack, snick-snack. In this way, I knew he was not afraid. I knew he would not run back to Old Man's house or into the teeth of coyote or wolf. I leaned my cheek against his flank. He smelled like the plains after the buffalo had passed by. When I patted his nose, he made a low snorting laugh, and Long Arrow, our chief, smiled at me. The woman who had been sick grew well, and soon she became my father's wife and my Katani mother. She sang to me, late into the night, all the sky dog songs of her people. So it was I who learned first of all the Piegan how to run the bone comb through the sky dog's fortlock, how to blow into his nostrils to make him follow, how to twist my fingers in his mane and pull myself onto his back, how to ride into battle and count swift coup. That is why, my children, I am called He Who Loves Horses. That is how I earned my own place in the Council of Warriors. And that is how the great Piegan, the people of many horses, became masters of the plains. So it is pictured there on the trade cloth. So it is painted there on my teepee. So it is recorded here in my heart, all my children. And there's the horse. So the author's note says there are several legends about the coming of the horse to the Blackfeet, of which the Piegan are a band. Some of the stories are magical and full of mythic elements in which elk dogs or sky dogs or spirit dogs are brought back by a hero, sometimes named Long Arrow, from a land under water. And if you would like to read more of the story, you can. But I thought you'd find this an interesting story about how Indians got horses. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and you'll subscribe and come back often. That was called Sky Dogs. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time here on Stories with Grandma.